Here's a quick breakdown before the show. I'll be expanding on these details as we go, and my full breakdown is linked below. Let's go. 7 transports to each of the planets and moons, and I'll have one pick up from this first trade station, King's Cross, and these shipments will be shuttled over to my second trade station up here, Diagon Alley, which is also the hub for this current group. This one is labeled as 0. This is going to be where we begin our pickup route. So that way the transports no longer need to travel back to this section and potentially deliver something at base value. Everything's going to be delivered by shipment drones. And before I forget, welcome everyone, I'm Khaos, and this is a complete playthrough of my shipment delivery system. I'm using the same method explained in my breakdown video, but there have been several improvements made to it. The process is still about 75% identical, so for more details, be sure to check it out. And back to the action. So this is the pickup stage where every target shipment in the Empire is shuttled to its designated hub. I do this using 7 transports, each with their own unique route, and 3 pickup locations. I've optimized this using a diagram. Feel free to pause and screenshot. I'll do a walkthrough of my pickup strategy. Phase 1. The target section for delivery is in white. I have my 7 transports labeled 3 to 9, and we'll follow the white numbers around the map. So their first stop is the 2 starter sectors there in white. Their second stop will go to the blue. You'll see 3 to 7. 8 and 9 will be in the yellow area. And then their third stop will go to the left in red. 3 to 6. 7 will be on the trade station Gringotts, and then 8 and 9 will hit the last 2 planets in the yellow section. So that's everything that's been happening up until this point. Each of my transports are now at their third stop. Only that they started to fill up, so here I'm kind of adjusting the routes to make sure that I can pick up all of the zeros. Just checking which ones have space. Whichever ones are full, I start moving them closer to the hub, but I do not dock them yet. I have a specific way. Well, I just dock them sequentially, from 2 to 9. So here I think that 0 for Azrael, that's the one that gets left behind. I don't think I go back for that. Here I have my last transport hitting up the trade station. That one always has a lot more. That I always have to make a second trip here for sure, maybe even 3. I think I might have done 3 here. So now that I got my final transport moving, I get all the other ones docked in the order that I want. Here I'm going to be turning off these lanes because I want my drones to focus solely on delivering to the starter sector. Don't want them wasting hydro going off to the sides yet. Here I'm using this transport, number 2, Mewtwo, to pick up everything that I don't need on this hub, and to unload all the other zeros which I do need on that hub. And then I go from left to right, unload until it's full, got 80 shipments, and that's when I launch the drones. Here I'm going to be using a total of 4. And as the drones pick up, I have the transports unloading. Because as soon as they're empty, I'm going to be sending them to their next pickup point. So this will be the second sequence. So now each transport is now going to start in the blue section, 3 to 6, 3 to 7. As soon as they're empty, I get them moving right away. The drones are also picking up any shipment that's going to the hub itself, and they're delivering that, so that's just less shipments for me to have to pick up later. So here I got my final transports to their first stop in this sequence. Now this is going to start in the blue and the yellow. It's basically the same as the previous sequence, just that we're going to start in the blue and the yellow, then go into the red, into the yellow, and then we're going to end in the white section. So here, phase 2, we're picking up all of the ones. Here I'm relinking these lanes. You'll see the drones, they'll just be delivering whatever they can within that network. As long as it's delivered by a drone, it's all profit. And here I'm moving my transports to their second stop in this second sequence. Here I kind of got stuck. I figured that this number 7 Caligo, I had waypointed to the wrong destination, so I'm course correcting here. And here, Mewtwo's route is kind of the reverse of phase 1. I pick up the ones from here and I take it down to King's Cross, and that's going to be the hub for the ones. So Mewtwo will stay there to help with the sorting, so that everybody else can unload everything there. Here I'm moving now my 8 and 9 transports to where they were supposed to go. I already corrected the routes. Now the transports are heading to their third stops. And here's where I use my number keys to select the transport without moving the camera. See, I press 7 and I can load everything that I need without anything else moving, and then waypoint exactly to where I need it to go. Here I snap to number 8. And then to 9, load. And then choose the destination with a little more accuracy. See, I had messed up like 2 other routes. So you can use control and a number key. You hold down control, press the number key, and you can bind any of your ships. And after the transports pick up from this last stop, it's just kind of simple. I pick everything up and then I just get them moving right over to the hub, and they'll land in the correct order. Here I'm just double checking because I was kind of doubtful about how I messed up the route earlier, but it looks like I got all the ones picked up. So here I'm using Mewtwo to sort everything, picking up the non-ones, making sure that all the ones are on King's Cross. And here I'm going to be using my last transport, number 9, Slifer. I use it to pick up all of the 11s to make room. That's for my Fire 2 planet that is currently off lane. Those shipments are going to be delivered after these 2 drones. I only use 2 drones for this section. After these 2 drones are done delivering to the other 4 planets, I'm going to be switching my lane over so that the 11s can be delivered to that Fire 2 planet. And here, you know, rinse and repeat. As soon as the transport is empty, take it over to its next pickup point. And we are now in the second half of the session, so this third sequence is slightly different. My transports 3 to 6, they always hit up the same 3 stops, just in a different sequence for each phase. But my 7, 8, 9, and 2 transports, their routes kind of change a little bit in the second half. So here I already got some of my transports picking up the 3s and heading over to their second stop. So there I just unloaded all of the 11s that I had stored in my number 9 transport, Slifer. Now I can just drop them. I will switch this lane over, it's just one sector over, and then relink it to the same one. And there goes the drone. And that's how I get those shipments delivered. And from here on out, I leave that lane just where it is, and you'll see why later. So here, just continuing with the 3s, I'm just going to go around the map. So here, I did make the mistake of picking the 3s up first from here. Technically, I was supposed to go over to my Fire 3 planet, because now I have 6 shipments going to that planet. You know, I'm supposed to start in the target section for delivery. But I was able to correct that. Here I'm using the number keys again. Just using the number keys to snap to the transport without moving the camera, and then selecting their destination. See how quick that happened. So this is their third stop. As soon as I load, I'm already just taking them straight over to the hub. And here I unloaded everything in Mewtwo in order to go pick up the shipments here. And here it actually didn't matter that Mewtwo docks last, because using the previous and next keys, it's still gonna flow seamlessly from left to right. So here, just using Mewtwo for the sorting, making sure that the only shipments in this hub are the ones that need to be there, which are the 3s. Load it up to 80 and use 2 drones here as well. No more, no less. Make sure that my transports are empty. And this is now phase 4. So here the sequence for phase 4 is the same as phase 3. My 3 to 6 are in the same spot, and then my 7, 8, 9, and 2 will also start at the same point. Here I'm actually sending Mewtwo first to that Fire 3 planet, because I noticed that I had messed up earlier. And for phase 4, here I'm picking up everything on the remaining planets, and their first flight path is actually going to be to the hubs within that current group. So my transports here, 3 to 6, picked up everything and went to the hub for that particular section. And then my other 4 transports picked up everything from those 4 planets and took it to that respective hub. Some of them still had shipments that went to that hub. Yeah, they got delivered at base value, but it's less than 1% of the shipments that this will happen. Sometimes they generate while in the middle of doing the shipments, but for less than 1% and to save time at the end, it's worth it. So since I was picking up all the 4s, those transports 3 to 6, that I just left everything in that hub Diagon Alley, because that's going to be the hub for the 4. So I just dropped everything and then went to the second stop. And here my transports 7, 8, 9, and 2. I dropped everything that they had, and now I'm just picking up the 4s, just kind of loading them evenly. Maybe I'll put about 10. I think that's what I was trying to go for. About 10 on each of them, on each 4 of them, just about. And then I was going to get them going to their next stop. And the reason I take all these, like in phase 4, I take all the shipments that are left on the planets to the hub is because I've already had drones go to those planets within that system, within that network, and they've already delivered the ones that go to the trade stations. So there's no harm, no foul. Again, if there are some, it'll be less than 1% of your shipments. It's really not going to hurt the max profit that much. And it saves me time at the end when I'm going to deliver the shipments that go to these trade stations, to the hubs themselves. So this is one of the improvements that I've made, making that additional stop, just bringing everything to the hubs themselves, and then you'll see how the magic will unfold. So here again, even in this section too, brought everything from those planets to this current hub here where they're all docked, dropped everything, and then picked up the 4s, since we need to take those up to the left to Diagon Alley. So here my transports 3 to 7 are now going to their final stop in this sequence, meeting up with 8 and 9. We've just been kind of waiting for them, like, hurry the hell up, like, we're trying to do this as quickly as possible. And same operation, pick up everything, and it's all going up to the left to Diagon Alley. You see there's hardly any. Well, there was 2 on that one. I hesitated there. I'm just like, damn, I did not want there to be any. But you see, there's hardly any here. And same as before, just make sure that there's nothing but 4s in this one. And here I am turning off this lane and switching it over 1 sector, reconnecting it to the same one. This one's gonna go 2 doors down and reconnecting to the same one. And we launched 2 drones, no more, no less. And keep unloading everything as the drones pick up. And I'm using Mewtwo here to pick up all the non-4s, just in case I need extra room. Always want the drones to pick up 10 shipments every time that they leave that hub. So we're trying to keep that as much as possible. So here we're just going to wait until the drones have finished delivering everything in this network before we move on to our final phase, which is going to be delivering all of the shipments that go to the trade stations. So I will turn off these 4 lanes. That's also why everything got picked up from all the planets. No need to fly over and get anything else, because I will swap the links now and create a new network that will include the trade stations. And since everything has been brought in, the drones don't have to travel any farther. Even if they had enough for 1 more trip, they can go ahead and take it. I did not have to use any additional drones. And this is also why when I made my first lane switch to the Fire 2 planet, I left it that way so I'd be able to use that drone in the final phase here. Here we see 5 shipments left. Makes me think that I delivered more than 992. And here on the left, you'll see the total base value before the session. And on the right, you'll see the total bonuses gained through shipment drone. That's actually the objective that's been flashing this whole time. Worked well to line it up here just for reference. And there you have it. My shipment delivery system executed in real time. I hope this has been helpful for you in creating or improving upon your own methods. Feedback is always welcome. Let me know in the comments. And be sure to check out Sith Empire. I'll have our Discord link below. And we also have plenty of non-Hades channels to explore. So if you're looking for daily red stars, weekly white stars, or a new corp to call home, Sith Empire welcomes you. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.